hell?
I'm Batman.
Wow, what are you doing here?
I need you to fix my car.
But why are you in Superman's car?
This is my new Batmobile.
Well, I thought it's Superman's car because of the logo on the front.
No, it's not Superman's car. The S on the bonnet stands for superhero. Can't you tell? I've got the Batwing on the back. I was having a fight with Aluminium Man, and he foiled my plans and damaged my car.
Okay, leave it with me then and I'll see what I can do.
To the Batcave!
So with this one, the customer has damaged his sump. He drove over something in the road that he couldn't see at night, and unfortunately he has cracked his sump. So let's get it on the ramp, have a look, see where it's leaking from and what's happened to it. But I do have a sump all ready to go for it, so I can get it all done in one episode for you. Let's carry on with this one now. I've got it on the ramp. As you can see, we have oil all over the bottom of the sump and a major crack in the support bar for the exhaust. So it is basically scrap. I have to take the sump off, so I've got to take the exhaust off. I've got to take the mount off here. I've got to undo some really hard to access bolts. And I've also got to take a bolt over the back of the drive shaft mount. So let me crack on with that now, and then we can start to drop this sump off. It's cracked it up behind here. See, it was leaking down there. So right, onto the exhaust. Okay, right, that should hold the exhaust enough out of the way for me now, so I don't have to take it completely off. So now I can access all the bolts on the sump. I must say, it has been probably 5 years since I've changed a sump on a twin spark engine. I thought the days of people driving into things in GTVs had disappeared. But yeah, back in the day when these were more plentiful on the road, you were seeing these sort of every few weeks. Because that mount on the bottom here is quite low, you hit a curb or anything in the road and you're just going to crack that sump wide open. But yeah, I haven't seen one in a good few years. World's longest bolt award to this one. Geez, how long is it? Slight overkill, that one. If I remember right, you can just about change the sump without taking the subframe down. There is a little trick to it. There is a little trick to it, but if I remember rightly, you can. Okay. Yes. Now I think there's one more hiding up there somewhere. Nope, we have them all at the sides, at the front. Now we have them all at the front and back. So now we need to get the drive shaft housing out the way. And then there's 4 more bolts at each end of the sump. Now there are 2 very awkward ones hidden up here. You should really use an extra long Torx bit to get to them, because they are a bit tight, but you can just about get up with a 1/4 inch driver. And it's just a case of feeling where they are. So there we go, that's all the sump bolts out now. I just need to undo one more on the back here, and then we should be able to get this sump down. Now the last one is up behind the sump, behind here, which is holding sort of the drive shafts to the sump. So I'm going to do that off camera because there's no way I can get in there to film that. So I should be able to start taking the sump down in the next shot. Now, depending on how well this has been stuck to the bottom of the engine, depends on how easy this thing's going to come off. And we're all right. It's come off nice and easy with my pry bar. Let's move the camera back out the way. Now there is the oil pickup which is in the way, but I do believe you can drop it so far down so you can then see the oil pickup and undo it. And there you go, we can now see the oil pickup which I need to undo, which I think is an 11mm if I remember rightly. If I can just undo the back one, I can't remember. If we just undo the back one, I think I can swivel it round a little bit. There we go. Right, let's have a look at the pickup now and see what condition that's in. We do have some silicone and debris on the bottom. It's done its job of picking up the crap in the engine. Everything else looks okay. Just need to clean all the old silicone off, and then we can get the new sump in, once we've cleaned that out of course. And in the sump, if you look just there, you see where the light's shining, you can see a crack, and that's where the oil's been leaking from, around there. Now what I'm going to do is remove the pickup and the seal, remembering which way round it goes, otherwise you're going to end up starving the engine of oil. Oil pickup is now nice and clean, so I'm just going to get that back on. Can remove this by bending it back and then hammering it back into position just to give it a thorough clean, but we're all ready to go now. Right, leave me to get this cleaned up off camera, and join me in a second when we're putting the sump on. Right, just using some high temperature gasket sealant in here. They don't make a gasket of the particular shape for the sump. It would have been nice, but Alfa don't do that. You want to be careful not to put too much on. This is probably about the right amount, because if you put too much on, as soon as you squish it down, where's it going to go? It's going to go inside the sump. And now it's time for the fun part. You've got to get this back up here without getting yourself filthy. And also you've got to put the bolt back in. Right, first failed attempt done. I'll put some more silicone on there just to give me a little bit more of the areas I've just wiped off with my hand. Stay there, do not drop some, do not drop. So all the bolts and everything are all on, torqued up. We're now ready to change the oil filter, because that's a necessity after you've done this amount of work. And then we can put some oil in it, start it up, and away we go. Brand new genuine oil filter if it wants to go on. There we go. I have also filled it with oil and lubricated the seal. Just done that off camera. Right, 5 litres of oil in. It's just over the maximum, but that will go down once the engine's cranked over and it goes through all the pipe works and through the pickup again. Little blow on the exhaust gasket. I'll get that up in the air and tighten that up. We've got no oil leaking out underneath, so it looks as though this one is fixed. Well, there you go, guys. This one's all done. Hopefully you enjoyed the intro of that video. I felt like having a little bit of fun for a change. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next video.